So, happy Friday or whenever you are watching this. Hopefully elasticity is starting to make sense, big picture and small picture. Hopefully the answers to the homework you've been able to cross compare and figure out where you went sideways. And then hopefully the last page on the answers I sent out will give you some bigger perspective on what's going on. So next thing I wanted to talk about here, by the way, obviously if elasticity is still giving you problems, after you've done that, please don't hesitate to get in touch. It's easy to make mistakes putting things into the wrong places, but once you get it figured out, it shouldn't be that bad. As I start coughing. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit today about middlemen. Basically, people who simply don't do anything. They just stand in the middle of a transaction, move things from one location to another, maybe move things from one person to another, and sort of think about, or at least talk about how we could think about them from an economic perspective. Many parts of the world, people's initial response is, look, these people do nothing. They generate no value. And let's see if we can sort of wrap our heads around whether they do or whether they don't. So let's start here. Let's envision the American West. Again, by the time I was around in southeastern Montana, in the American West, there were not a lot of cowhands or sheep herders, but most people had settled down into their ranches. But let's go back 100 years or so and think about a sheep herder, Sam Scratch-A-Lot, and Barroom Bill here. And this is the autumn, and they have settled in for the winter. And Sam has 20 cases of beans and 20 cases of peaches. Plenty of provisions to make it through the winter. Ignore this for the time being. So this is where they're starting. Bill, on the other hand, has also laid in a stack of cases of beans and cases of peaches. Now, of course, maybe many of us are in this situation now as well. We've laid in a certain stock of food, and the question is when we're going to need to go out and get it, or get more, rather. So, basically, they're set and ready for the winter, and Sam sits down and he's looking around and he goes, you know what? I really like beans, and I'm not quite so fond of peaches. I really probably should have gotten a few more cases of beans and a few fewer cases of peaches because I only had a certain amount of money to spend. And he thinks about it and he says, you know what? I would rather have had 30 cases of beans and 12 cases of peaches. But, you know what? I still have food. I should be grateful. And now I'm going to settle in and try and make it through the winter here.